Hey folks, welcome to the beginning of a brand new Let's Play replay. Third time playing through this game. I think that's the only time I've ever done that with any game on my channel. But it's time for another Let's Play run through with the help of some people who donated to Zerfall's charity stream to fight MS in Canada and elsewhere. We're going to play through Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence one more time. Let's get right into it. I'm going to run through the created officers for this scenario real quick, but there won't be time for people to make changes or corrections. I'm just going to show them off, and then we're going to get right into the action. So hopefully we will, at least we'll get the scenario intros and story in this video, and probably actually get to do some gameplay. It'll be a new experience, gameplay in the first video of a Nobunaga's Ambition series. But I did want to take us back to a Ko Shibusawa production screen. Historical simulation series. This really is a very cool intro thing here. Nobunaga's Ambition. Well, of course, we won't be on the Nobunaga team in this run. Year 5 of the Kicho era. All of the games in these two series, Romance 3 Kingdoms and Nobunaga's Ambition, have pretty sweet intro movies. But I love the opening music from this one. We got the Matrix armies lining up here with their laser technology. There's Mitsunari and there's Tokugawa Ieyasu. Presumably that's Sekigahara being played out in laser form. But here we have Nobunaga. His ambition is to not get killed before that battle happens. If his ambition was to create a successful F1 race team, you could see a game of equal strategy involvement over on Boba's channel, but Nobunaga's ambition is to unify Japan, and possibly after that to get an F1 team going. You know, with Takuma Sato, presumably. Rifling will not be a big thing that we're going to have a lot of fun and success with in this playthrough. In fact, we are going to want big cannonballs and musket shot to play as little a role in this as possible, considering the force we'll be using. Once again, Dr. Manhattan is going to accidentally suffocate his girlfriend briefly before remembering she needs to breathe, and then it will be Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence. Rhapsody in Blue, except that I'm messing it up. Alright, well, so this is going to be my third playthrough of the game, and in fact, this time, when I put out a video, I don't even know if I'll put it in the playlist. I did a video notifying people that they should hurry up and make their characters if they submitted to Zerfall's last charity stream. I mentioned in Zerfall's last charity stream, my plan had been to play this game again. I figured I'd probably play as the Takeda. I might play as the Uesugi or the Mori. I had thrown out the possibility of playing as... oh man, I'm blanking on their names now. The Chosakabe of Shikoku Island. But the force I figured I would probably play as is the Takeda, and that is in fact what I've decided to do. So let's quickly go through the created officers. With the understanding as you're watching this, guys, if you submitted a character, if you didn't submit a character and you don't care about this, just skip ahead a few minutes in the video. But if you submitted a character, I was very fast and loose with the rules this time. I didn't create a whole new here's how to submit a character video. I referenced you to the previous one. That led to some trouble of its own, which I'll explain here in a moment. So I'm going to sort by active officers, and you're going to see JG Mystery is completely unchanged other than the fact that his birth year has been moved back so that he will be a youthful retainer of the Takeda at the beginning of the scenario, but I've changed his tenet to conservative, because the Takeda are a conservative clan. What this is going to mean is there are certain and I've never played through this game on screen or off screen. It's a conservative clan, so I don't know how much it's really going to change. But the Oda and the Date, whom we've played through this game with previously, are both progressive. That means they can enact progressive policies. Those tend to be ones that give you gold and muskets. I believe conservative policies will tend to give you agriculture and horses. And some of these policies will boost the loyalty of officers with the same tenet. And all officers will receive, well, their loyalty will be affected. You'll either get an uptick or a downtick based on whether they match the tenet of the clan. So neutral officers are not affected. Progressive officers will have plus, I think it might be 2 loyalty if they are in a progressive clan. They'll get -2 loyalty if they're in a conservative clan. So for those people who like have a running thing where I'm using them, and like Grimmeth created a character for a previous Let's Play. I actually went in and like put some thought into it. Since that time, I don't even know if he watches these now, but he did create a character. So I just threw Grimmeth's character in because he's been a participant in the charity streams. I threw Lethal's character back in with that, but I changed their tenets to conservative. So in Ald, you are somebody, you said just use my character from last time, change them if I want to, or if I think I need to. Well, you actually created 2 characters, Ald Dragon for the first playthrough and Elmendretta the Avatar for the more recent one is the Date. So I just picked Elmendretta, and I really picked her because I think, was it because her required loyalty is lower than Ald's, will make it easier to keep her happy? There was something where I thought she might be slightly more useful than Ald in this scenario, but it was kind of a coin toss. But she is conservative, so I apologize to Ald. I know he won't like that. You just try to bear in mind. This does not mean they're going around wearing red hats that say "Make Japan Great Again." They're not going around getting really upset about drag queen story hour. As a matter of fact, they're all about drag queens. Like all of their drama features theatrical plays where all the parts, including female parts, are performed by men. And they've even got a form of drama where all the parts, including male parts, are played by women. All they don't have is female performers and male performers in the same stage plays. So they're not like, writing laws to prevent drag queen story hour conservatives. These conservatives are opposed to Christianity coming into the country. And I can go off on a whole diatribe about what that would mean today. I know conservatives who consider themselves socially progressive, and they get upset when they get lumped in. But we think of, like, if somebody starts really talking to you a lot about Jesus, you think they probably are conservative in this country. But in those days, progressive meant open to Christian ideas coming in, or at least open to guns and foreign gold. Whereas conservative meant you really wanted to, it was conservative in the pure sense. You wanted the country to go unchanged, which meant Buddhism, and it meant fighting by sword and not using a lot of guns. So, various characters who've been in lots of previous Let's Plays are back. Uncle Baldo is here. Toriyama Rosario, who is Lethal Feline's character. Grimmeth Reaper is here with his pain in the ass 15 required loyalty. Vulture Bobo and Vulture Bean are here. Kazuhiro is here, but he has become a conservative. Aboko Arisato is back. I know I went through these carefully. Oh, and Shaman, you never came back and gave me a different portrait, so I guess you're just going to be cosplaying. Like, I'm okay with you cosplaying as our ruler. You will be dressed up as him because you're just like a huge, huge fan, and he kind of like gives you a kind of funny side look, but he's like, don't leave me alone with that guy. He's weird. Colin Awari Sanada's back. All of you guys are back, but you are conservative. And if you gave me something to change, I changed it. Now, for the new officers, if you gave me a new write-up, I went with it, including if you called yourself progressive. This could be a bit of a problem, but I wanted to actually honor. For the old guys, it's like, back when you were setting up your characters, it was with the idea that you would be on either the Oda or the Date, depending on when you set them up, and that was a progressive clan. So I kind of took it upon myself to change you guys to conservative without getting your permission. But I had to make a call, and that's the call I made. Any pre-existing character, I would tweak them. New characters, I would honor what the person requested. So this will be an interesting one. And I don't have my laptop open, so I don't have the YouTube usernames of the people who submitted these characters. But Yujiro Bayushi, now he's going to be a problem. Because he's got 15 required loyalty and his tenant is progressive. I like this character's build, though, because he's got... We're going to need really good pole officers, and he's got really good pole skills. It will be in my best interest to keep him happy, but it might be impossible. And I haven't decided this, but I kind of feel like if you defect from our force and you are captured in battle later, you probably need to be put to death, because you like, this is ancient Japan. You betrayed your liege lord. So we will see what happens with some of these guys. But if there's anybody who's going to defect from the force, Yojiro Bayushi is one. It's going to be very difficult to keep him happy, but we'll see what we can do. We got Froxus Nilok. She is he, I think, male in the past playthroughs. Veteran of Romance 3 Kingdoms. I don't think we've had them in Nobunaga's Ambition before. They'll be an easy one to keep happy. Required loyalty 1, conservative clan. Like, that was what the character was designed to be. Just loyal to the clan. So you are somebody. You will not be a squeaky wheel. You won't be getting a lot of grease, but you will be very useful, I'm sure. We got Ryu Ryotoshi. This is going to be the first instance where I linked you guys to a prior video and told you to use it to set up your characters. And I didn't think there would be a problem with the portraits, but I realized as I was getting submissions, whoever submitted this character... And again, I should have had the laptop open. I feel bad saying whoever this is, because I had it in front of me when I was making the characters. I don't have it. Like, this might have been Carter Blue, but... like, you gave me a row and column, which is how I asked for it, but you also gave me a timestamp. So at first I was like you're giving timestamps that was longer than this video, but then I was like, oh, that's the timestamp in the video I linked to. And I used that instead of what you submitted as your row and column, because when I went in to find that row and column, I got somebody completely different. And I think what happened is I unlocked more EX portraits. So if you asked for an EX portrait, I may have made my best guess as to what you wanted, or I may have fallen back on a non-EX portrait if you gave me one of those to choose from. Anyway, this guy is, he's tenant's neutral, so he won't be a problem. His required loyalty isn't very high, but he's like a full-on war dude, and I'm sure he will be seeing action. Masako Hayumi, I think this is the right portrait. Same deal. Full-on war officer. I know that you'll be seeing a lot of action. The pole officers will be getting constant use in boring ways. The military officers will be showing up a lot less often, but they will be doing more interesting things when they do appear. Lita's grandma has to be progressive, but with required loyalty of 1, it won't matter. But Lita's grandma, like Lita, looks better from a distance. 100 loyalty, 100 war, 100 leader valor, whatever. And yes, you are seeing this right. They are a male officer named Lita's grandma. Long-running joke for fans of the channel. Naminata, who has possibly thought they were going to be Nami. They are progressive, required loyalty 8. They will be annoying to keep happy, but not as annoying as Yojiro Bayushi is. They're kind of a little bit... Well, their growth type is Shingen. That's nice. They're trying to follow the path of the guy who will be leading the clan eventually. We got Natsuko Sasaki. And you're progressive, required loyalty 13. You will be another pain in the ass to keep happy. So we may be losing you. I'll try to keep you. We'll see what happens there. Agamorond is, I think this is the right portrait that you wanted, buddy. But yeah, we will not be using you to rule a district. Don't worry. I don't remember districts being a big thing in this game. Maybe they are, and I forgot about it. It's been a long time since I played. But here's some special things that I brought in just for the hell of it. Without asking permission, I made Jaxor's Baldo, who will be I was just picking a portrait for myself. I remembered her portrait from RTK, and she kind of had like a sort of purplish, bluish-purplish outfit with involved like some headgear. So I just picked somebody wearing purple and a hat. And I set up the birthdays so that Zerfina Baldo, she wears a hat just like Mom. She will not be appearing for several years on. I don't know if in any way, shape, or form Zerf and Jaxors will be the right age when Zerfina comes into the world. I picked a date that worked for Vulture Bronco, and they had made Zerfina like a little bit older and Vulture BB a little bit younger. But I just made her like a little bit of an all-arounder, but mostly a war officer, and we'll see how that goes. And then Vulture Bronco, he's a ninja, and he's a warrior, and he'll be showing up later in the story. Whereas Vulture BB is, I guess I went ahead and made him a civil officer because Vulture BB is very young, and other than being like outgoing and friendly and just like a nice little kid, like as of the time I'm recording this, he hasn't actually started talking yet, but he likes just kind of flipping the pages back and forth on like his books. Like he's got those kids books with the giant thick cardboard pages. He loves playing around with books. So I went ahead and made him like bookish civil nerd guy. And there you go. That's the cast of characters who will be appearing in this story. Maybe we won't actually get, as I'm looking at it, we might not get to a whole lot of action. It's an introductory video. What we will do, and it's weird, I swear I won different scenarios, but it didn't save me. Oh, here we go. Battle of Sekigahara. Ah! I started the One-Eyed Dragon campaign, and then that's right. I didn't finish. I then started I did enough to show story events, and then went to Sekigahara because there were other story events that were getting blocked out by whatever. But yes, on screen we've won 2 scenarios, and I've never played through all the way to the end off screen. To the end of anything. So we're actually replaying one of only 2 scenarios we've done because I like the scenario that starts at the beginning and really gives you a chance to play through the entire story. So apologies to anybody who wanted to see a late game scenario or a fictional scenario. We're actually going to Birth of Nobunaga, the very earliest scenario, and we're playing through it again because that allows the Takeda have historical events all the way from the beginning. The Takeda have historical events before Shingen takes over, and in fact, we will be starting our adventure before there is a Shingen. We will have way too many officers because of all the created officers. But we will be starting in Kai with the daimyo Nobutora Takeda. And I don't think I'll mess with the difficulty. I set an edit 1 where I just wanted the AI to be higher aggressive than usual, but like I was annoyed by the idea of like, you know, giving other clans economic boost and damage boost. I wanted the AI to just be more aggressive. So this might be too easy, especially with all these created officers, but I'm just going to play through on the same difficulty we have in the past. For me, I love micromanaging the cities. I love slowly building up my force. We'll see if this is going to be difficult. If it's difficult in particular, I think the problem that we'll have playing as the Takeda is that we're like, you know, we played as the Oda. We started out in a nice plain. We had a lot of historical events that helped us get a good start going. But ultimately, we had powerful clans nearby, but we had really good terrain to get started. And when we played as the Date, we had neighbors who were like kind of threatening, but nobody who was really powerful. So we were able to fairly easily take over the north. And our big issue was when the Hojo steamroll over and take over Kanto. Although for us it was like events happened and it ended up being the Tokugawa running Kanto because of the scenario. This is always the problem. Whoever holds the Kanto just holds they win. It's like the Central Plains in an RTK game. Cao Cao takes over the Central Plains. You really can't let that happen because if you do, you're just going to have a nightmare of a time. He's going to have the best cities, huge amounts of agriculture and commerce, and he's just be really hard to take down. Same thing happens here. So the Takeda start out very close to there. The issue I'm going to have is that I'll research how many historical events there are. I'm going to want to show off all the plot and story stuff that I can. But the Takeda don't take this over. I'd have to I'm going to have to figure out something. We're going to want to play the Takeda story events up to the point where the Takeda fall apart. And I might have to just, like, pick a point, save, play through all the events and include the Takeda falling apart, then maybe load, like, so I can show them on screen. And then we'll pick, and then we'll load, and we'll go back to right before the Takeda started falling apart, and then I'm going to have to divert and actually just play to win, rather than play to show off the story. But if the Hojo take over, because the Hojo are our enemies, if the Hojo take over all this, they will be very difficult to stop. And that could be very challenging. The only time I remember really feeling like I was in over my head was when I played, as part of the Let's Cheer Up Grimmeth stream. I played as the Nagao, trying to, like, follow the story of Kenshin Uesugi's rise, and like, you have to be super aggressive. Like, I guess I could have slowed down and done better, but I was trying to play through and show historical events, and I just got to the point where I was overwhelmed. Like, I was trying to attack, and I wasn't taking enough time to build up my force. But we're going to be playing as the Takeda, so it'll be easy if we just start playing to win right away, because we got so many great officers, including the Takeda already have good officers and a great starting castle. And it'll be really hard if playing through and showing off the historical events makes it difficult for us to actually get a foothold before other clans start getting really strong. So I think what we'll do here, you can pause and read the settings if you want. I'm looking at how much time we have left in this video. We're not going to get a whole lot of turns in, but we'll at least get through the scenario introduction and then see what happens from there. Hisahide Matsunaga. I'm a Miyoshi retainer who usurped the Miyoshi clan, and then it stopped loading. The Takeda clan ruled the land of Kai, and Nobutora Takeda ruled the Takeda. He constructed... Oh, here we go. I'm going to need to figure this one out. It's going to come up a lot. Tsutsu Jigasaki Palace. That's not too bad. Tsutsu Jigasaki Palace. And made his towns thrive within. More than one town in the castle. And expanded his territory through vigorous military excursions without. However, the massive enemies he had made in recent years were giving him trouble. To the south were the mighty Hojo of Sagami, and to the west were their relatives, the Imagawa. To the north was the Suwa clan, drawing blood from the priests of Suwa Shrine, and commanding their people's awe and respect. All three forces wished for Nobutora's demise.
Grr! That blasted Ritsuna! He interferes with every one of my endeavors.
Ujitsuna possesses an expansive territory that boasts rich agriculture and commerce. With our forces as they are now, I'd say we should not...
Silence! You think I don't know that? Right now we have too many foes.
And then, shall we form a truce with the Hojo?
Nonsense! Joining hands with Ujitsuna is something I cannot do. There's only one option. We must make peace with the Suwa.
But, my lord, the Suwa are not exactly known for their strength.
Actually, that's not what's at stake here. While the Suwa don't have the strongest soldiers and would likely lose should we go to battle with them, the clan commands absolute fear and respect for their people. The people of the Suwa would never bow to us.
Exactly. So first we make peace with the Suwa and prepare for war with Ujitsuna. Nobukata, get a messenger out to them.
Peace with the Suwa is great and all, but are we truly going to keep fighting with the Hojo?
Lord Nobutora's hatred of Ujitsuna certainly is a handful. And while I must admit that Sagami and Kanto are really fetching lands, by all rights we need to capture Shinano first.
Just why does Lord Nobutora hate Ujitsuna that much anyway?
It's not that he hates Ujitsuna, Lord Nobutora. He hates everyone who stands above him.
Well, he really is proud. He must hate a lot of people then. Ha ha ha. Just kidding.
Indeed. And while that's fine for being a leader, I just wish he'd think a little more about the future of our clan.
Nobutora Takeda's mind for military matters was unmistakable, gaining him sturdy trust of his retainers. However, his lust for battle was far too great. Each battle he undertook simply added more weight to the burdens on his retainers and people. Not his shoulders, though. Quests. Peace with the Suwa. Start. Increasing its influence and making enemies of the mighty Imagawa and Hojo clans, Nobunaga Takeda sought peace in Shinano. Through diplomacy. Sorry. We will start this historical quest. We need to bring the Suwa clan's reliance to 60.
Your orders?
Oh, Jaxor's Baldo is taken over as the person who does all of this stuff. Okay. Now, if we look at our officers, and we look at loyalty, we're going to see that he's at loyalty 9, required loyalty 15. Loyalty 9, required loyalty 13. Loyalty 12, required loyalty 15. Sometimes shows blatant hostility. Sometimes shows blatant hostility. And required loyalty 8, current loyalty 6. So, there's a couple of things that you can do here. Making someone a castle lord helps. Giving them a treasure helps. Some policies can help, although we're not really going to have enough gold income to enact a bunch of policies anytime soon. We have... Sorry. We've got 3 castles. Or, yeah, we have 3 castles. Tsutsu Jigasaki Palace is our main base. It's by far our biggest base. This base here only has like well, it doesn't really have a whole lot going on, but it's kind of like, I don't know how you go in and actually look at this base up close. There was a screen before that I used to get to, how did I get to the screen where I had, I swear I did it earlier. How did I get to the screen where I was able to see officers, not just bases? Well, I mean, you look at the income here, we got 104, 80, 80. It's just, yeah, these 2 bases are smaller. So, the ruler of your force will always be the lord of the local castle, but making someone a castle lord boosts their loyalty. So, we've got 2 castles to work with as far as boosting people's loyalty. The general approach, we could put the 2 least loyal people there, or we could just give up on making them happy at all, and put people who are kind of borderline, we might be able to make them happy, and make them castle lords. I don't know if castle lords can ever defect from your force. But I do know that we're coming up on the end of this video. So, like I said, I thought we might get to action. I knew there was a chance that we wouldn't. So, our first actual turn we'll do in video 2. But, hey, you know, it was a 30-minute video to open a series instead of, like, 45 or an hour. I showed off a couple of the created characters. We got through the main story, and now we know what's up. Our main quest line, we're trying to make allies to the north so that we can concentrate on our enemies to the southeast and the southwest. I'm Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time when we figure out how to keep these progressives with their, you know, their drag queen story hours and their, you know, BLM and their Antifa. How do we keep them happy in our crazy MAGA theocracy that we have under Shingen Takeda? See you guys next time.